Today on Be Something Wonderful, how thoughts become things. The secret to the secret. This is Tom Kieran with the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Welcome back, creators. Got a great lesson today. Thoughts, how do they become things? We've talked about this. We probably talk about this every day in some form. But I really want to hit it today. What is the secret to the secret? Back when The Secret came out, a lot of people were excited until that they found out that they weren't getting the results that they wanted. They were trying to control things with their thoughts, trying to manifest things with their thoughts, and they weren't getting what they wanted. A lot of times they were getting what they didn't want, or they didn't think the law of attraction worked for them, or whatever it is. Let's unveil the secret. We've talked about this before in other formats and other ways, but today I want to talk about it. So thoughts are good. That is the starting point. Think of a thought as your intention. What do you want? What do you desire? What's your intention? What do you choose in your life? That's the thought. Think about that. That's the conscious mind. And then you've got to combine that with heart or emotion. You've got to imbue that. You've got to charge that thought with emotion. A thought that's not charged with emotion is not creative, or it won't create. Right? You've really got to, and how do you do that? Normally it's thoughts that we think about a while, that we really mull on a while, and then there's these feelings that are created inside. Right? There's these feelings and emotion that's in your subconscious, right? Really, that's in the invisible space, right? That's that God consciousness. So mind plus heart, or thoughts plus emotion and feelings, equals things. That's how you manifest. Thought alone won't do it. It's not enough, right? And we have so many thoughts, and we change our mind quite a bit, and we change our thoughts quite a bit. They don't even have time. The seed doesn't even have time to grow. The seed doesn't have time to manifest, right? So it's like planting a seed and then digging it up. Planting a seed and then digging it up. It never stays enough so it can really start to grow, so it can really start to become what you want, right? So if you want to think about it, think about it as the mind as the thoughts as the conscious mind, and then the subconscious mind as that God consciousness, as that awareness that we are made of, that our connection to that invisible divine realm where all creation comes from, right? That's our connection. And then that equals your manifestation. So here you are, you're thinking of money. You may want a lot of money. You may have thoughts on it, but those thoughts could be lack. They could be you could be thinking about money from a lackful standpoint, or you could be thinking about it that you just want a lot of money. Unless you imbue those thoughts or charge those thoughts with emotion, it's got to be charged. You've got to think of it as lighting up those thoughts with emotion and feeling of abundance, of freedom, right? Invincibility. Those are the feelings of money. Those are the feelings of wealth. You've got to get into the feeling mode. You've got to charge that thought with feeling. Once you do that, then it's a slam dunk. Yes. You will be wealthy. You will have money. It won't be an issue, right? It will come in. It will go just like breathing. It will come in and out, in and out. Now, this could also work against you. So you could have thoughts of money, but then you could imbue that thought with feelings of fear or lack or not having it. This is a key difference. So even though you want money, your feelings of it are that you don't have it. Your feelings of it is that you want it. Your feeling is that you're chasing it and you never seem to have enough. That, when you charge those thoughts with that emotion, that then creates your worst expectations, or creates more lack, or more wanting, or more poverty. You see this, guys? So it's really here. So the real key to creation is here. It's in that invisible realm. It's your connection to the invisible realm. It's your heart connection. It's your feelings. That connection to the invisible realm is the creative power. The thoughts are okay. You need those. You need to start with an intention. You need to give the subconscious, you need to order the subconscious to do something. Remember, the subconscious just follows your order. It follows the orders, whatever you want. Right? It's no respecter of persons. It doesn't distinguish between good or bad or right or wrong. Whatever you impress on your subconscious will express in a manifestation. So that's where fear comes in, and worry and all those things. That's what creates your worst expectations. Now you might be saying, but I have a lot of worry and fearful thoughts. Yes, you might, and they never come to pass. Why? Because you might have thoughts and of worry, but you may not have you might not imbue those with true emotion of fear that you really get in over a period of time, right? If it's imbued over a period of time, you're definitely you probably have experienced that. Or you've experienced something in between, right? Not your worst case, but not your best case. You're sort of in the middle. You have good days and bad days. You don't really seem to progressing. That also comes from being in and out of fear, being in and out of worry, being in and out of stress. You're knocked around like a paper boat in the ocean. When people are saying nice things to you, you're happy and energized. When others don't think much of you or say something that you don't like, you're all of a sudden down in worry and fear and depression or anger or frustration. You see it, guys? You're letting the external world control your internal world, and it's your internal world that creates. So you created that external world, and then you continue to create that external world by reacting to it. So it's a circle, right? Thought, feeling, thought, feeling, thought, feeling, thought, feeling. And so whatever your thoughts are creates those feelings to it, and it's a cycle, and you get the creation. So that's why you sometimes feel stuck, why you're feeling like, why does this always happen to me? Can't I seem to make it get forward? Because you've got to create a new you. You've got to leave that old person behind. In the Bible, it says, leave the old man behind. Right? What's the Bible talking about? The Bible talks a lot about the old man or the second man. The second man is that Christ in you. It's that subconscious, but the loving part of you, the part that gives you the life that you want. That's the part that you want to that you want to leave the conscious mind, the one that fights about ego and negative thoughts. I want to leave that behind and become the new man. So guys, this is a key. Thoughts, here's how to do it. You want the hack? Do you want the secret to the secret? The secret to the secret is love. If you imbue those thoughts with love, if that's your default mode, don't worry about what. Love is love, right? If it's love without any conditions, without any hooks, right? Without any ulterior motives, then if you imbue your thoughts with that kind of emotion, with a loving emotion, then you're going to have pretty good life. You're going to have your best case expectations. You're going to have all sorts of miracles falling on your lap, all sorts of miracles happening in your life. I know, guys, this is true. So you got to ask yourself, how do you feel? Because that's what's creating. How do you feel? It's not the thoughts. It's not necessarily what you think. It's how you feel. Yeah? It's not necessarily how you think. It's how you feel. Right? Here's where thinking comes in. We have a lot of feelings sometimes of our thoughts. So thought creates feeling. Feelings create more thoughts. Thoughts create more feelings, and this is the cycle you get into. So guys, this is the secret to the secret. It's the feeling. It's the heartfelt emotions. But your default mode, if you start making a habit of loving, of being loving, of showing love, of looking for the best, know that we're all God. We're all connected by that energy. So when you're looking at another, you're looking at yourself, right? The world is constantly reflecting back to you who you are. The people, events, and circumstances that happen in your life are constantly telling you who you are. That's important, right? Why? Because it's in the inside. What's the inner conversation you're having? What are you telling yourself? Because that's really where the creative power is. So guys, that's what I wanted to hit. This is the secret of how thoughts become things. They become things when you charge them with emotion and feeling. That's how thoughts become things. That's how anything's created in the world. That's how anything's created in this physical space, in this third dimensional world. It's from the fourth dimension, right, that thoughts and feelings come from. It's from that other realm, that unseen realm, where your thoughts and feelings, that's the communication, that's the language that God listens to. God listens to the language of feelings, to the language of emotion. And whatever those emotions is, God is not doesn't assert his will on you. You have free will to choose. Whether it's fear or love, you get to choose. But when you choose love and you charge your thoughts with love, then you're going to see miracles in your life. You're going to see some good stuff. Yeah? This is Tom Karen with the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button so you never miss a video, and comment and share our videos. That's how we get the message out. This is Tom with great love. Until next time.